Shemai GTA fans, the B11 Strikeforce is on sale at 2.2 million. Is it worth it? Well, I think it's a mighty fine jet. You've also got the Rogue on for 700,000. That's quite a bargain. But we're going to look at the B11 today, and you can see from the wingspans just how big this beast is. So here's the Hydra laser, kind of similar little wingspan, but here is the B11. Obviously, it's based on the A10 Tank Killer, but its characteristics, the flight characteristics and bombing, etc., may not be very similar at all to what you would expect. So let's modify this aircraft first, show you what's on offer, and then we'll take it for a bit of a drive. So armor upgrade, you need to add some. You can add some bombs as well, just standard explosives I have. Countermeasures, I've got chaff there, but as you can see, you've got all these options as well. Engine upgrade, you need to do that. Handling, I've put it on base handling, but you might want to start off with stock handling to get used to it. Livery wise, there's a few different ones. So here's a hog. But I've gone for the shark. Coloured it in green as well, like some kind of Army Air Corps kind of business. But you've got all these different camouflage options as well. Some of them look pretty nice. So camo snake, yeah. So I'm almost tempted to change it, but I'm not going to. Because what else is there? That is it. That is it. So let's go for a bit of a drive, shall we? And let's see how it handles. So here's our aircraft. We're having a bit of a dawn raid. I'm going to put it up, line it up with the runway. There's nobody else in the session to try and attack me today for a change. I've been sensible and gone in a solo session. Okay, so there it is. This is what it looks like at dawn. It looks like a mighty fine looking aircraft, and the tower's given us permission to take off, so taking off we will. Don't forget to put gear up because you need to do that. So we've got a few weapons on board, and but first let's have a look at the kind of flight handling. Quite nice, quite easy to control. It's also quite easy to land as well, so we put the gear down and let's see if we can land this sucker by any chance. Can we land it? So there we go, that's how easy it is to land, just to give you an idea of that. But as you just heard, the primary weapon is the chain gun, trademark of the A10. Alas, it is not as powerful as you would expect. It's got explosive rounds, but they're very much baby explosive rounds. They're not anything like as good as what you have on the Hydra and the laser. So those are better ground attack vehicles. You can still blow stuff up. You can still blow stuff up with armor as well. It's just a bit more difficult because you need more time on target. A better option might be missiles. So we've got the homing and the usual non-homing missiles. You can switch them around. I'll just show you the kind of rate to expect with that. Pretty slow. Okay, let's have a look at... Oh, there it was, missile barrage. You see that? So here's the missile barrage. So I should have actually aimed at a target. I just wanted to show it crack off. So let's have another crack and see if we can hit this car here. Yes, we get it worse we can. So yeah, I think the missile barrage is the one to go for ground targets. It needs a little bit of time to reload, but it is a very nice kind of weapon. I like that. You can also use it in air-to-air combat. So the other thing is as well, you want to be flying at height. So if you're at this kind of low level at altitude, I think the laser is going to get you really, because they're going to get a better turning circle. But I think if you fly at height, you know, above the city tops or something like that, apparently what I'm told by dogfighters is that you got a tighter turning circle. It does seem that way, but maybe that's just me thinking it is tighter. But from my own experience, I've normally been doing dogfights at low level and lost, so maybe that confirms that it's not as good at low level. But nevertheless, it can take a lot more missiles than the paper fuselaged Hydra and lasers. So you can take a few more missiles. But with regards to explosive rounds, I think you're going to be in trouble if they hit you. And it keeps doing that thing where it goes sideways. Let's just have a drive around the city, see what it looks like. It's a really big aircraft. You can land it in small places, but just bear in mind you can get hung up on these immense wings. So if you're trying to get people, so there we go, just trying to blow some people up. You might want to get the explosive rounds on there. I think those are more fun, but they're a lot easier for hitting the NPCs. So there's an NPC, handily stopped for us there. Yeah, so it's not the fastest plane in the world, but it's not bad. There goes the police. I mean, you can blow up the NPC cars in a wanna, but just bear in mind there's more armor on your average player's car because they'll have the armor upgrades, so it won't be as difficult. But nevertheless, it should be quite easily achievable if they're in a standard vehicle. Oh dear, helicopter. Let's try the missile barrage on the helicopter, shall we? Just as a bit of a see if we can line up with it. Where is it? There it is. There we go. So it did work. So that's not to say it would be super awesome as a tactic, because a helicopter is standing still there, but you can use it in air attacks as well. So yeah, worth considering as a tactic. One that I've not tried myself really because I've just not been into my dogfights. Struggling to get into sessions with people who are into it really. It's normally full of modders and then I end up in a solo session like this because it's a lot easier. But the missile barrage is awesome really. It's probably going to be a bit better against armoured vehicles, but again you probably need to hit them with a few missiles to get the best out of it. Yeah, more margin for error in those. Anyway, so the question mark is it worth it? Well, so a lot of people dogfight in them and say they are awesome at dogfighting. So with dogfighting, you're going to be using the gun a lot or the missile barrage. You're not really going to be using lock-on missiles, because the lock-on missiles, anybody can escape from them in a jet, a laser, etc. by going around in a big circle. But if you lock onto them and get them circling, that's when you might want to attack them with a missile barrage. Switch to that. So probably good to attack people who are beginners if you're a beginner, because there's a lot of experienced people in the game. Makes it quite difficult. 2.2 million. It's quite a high price to pay really for it, but it's a unique aircraft in the game. Personally, I think I get more value out of the Hydra and the laser. Hydra's obviously a lot cheaper and the cheapest of the bunch, so I'd probably stick with the Hydra if you're not into planes so much and you're quite happy to... Oh, watch out for the trees. You're quite happy with that rather than making this as an essential plane. But if you are into the A10 Tank Killer and want to have some... just hear that gun, you know, the gun sounds awesome. I can just fly around, just shooting ground targets all day. You know, you get lost in your own world with this. It sounds almost therapeutic. It sounds that good. So rather than the missile barrage, I'm normally on the cannon. So that's another reason why you might want to buy it, just to hear it go burr. You know, it's something nice about that sound. And if you're into aircraft as well, it's a classic aircraft. They've done a good job of making it look like an A10 Tank Killer. They've not done a super great job on the ground attack capabilities, but you can get around it. So yeah, one of the most armoured aircraft in the game as well, so it can take a few missiles, so that's good. A few explosive snipers as well. So yeah, there's plenty going for it, but the price might be a bit high. But I don't regret buying mine. I think I'm still happy with it, you know. But I do like flying. Whoa, 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 whoa! So I think that's how this video ends. I was hoping I was going to get away with that. Look at the power of that. It's still going. How can it still be going? It's upside down and just dragged itself on its canopy there. So I think that highlights just how good this plane is armor-wise. You can fly into aircraft and nearly survive. I would have survived if I'd have stayed upright there. Anyway, if you found this useful, do drop a like and a subscribe, and give me your comments on what your thoughts are on this plane and whether you've bought it, because it is on discount. 2.2 million is the discount price for this week only. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. If you are in GTA.